The sirens used to start at exactly 9:07 p.m. Everyone in Greybridge knew it. You could set your watch by it. The first wail, long and aching, would roll down from the north end of the city, echoing off shuttered factories and brick tenements. A second siren would answer from the river district. Then a third, closer, sharper. Police, ambulances, sometimes fire. Sometimes all of them together, screaming like the city itself was in pain. But on the night they stopped, the silence was louder than any siren had ever been. Detective Marcus Hale was pouring his second drink when he noticed it. He hadn't planned on a second drink. He never did. The first was ritual, cheap bourbon, 1 cube of ice, swallowed slow. The second usually meant something was wrong. Marcus stood at the window of his apartment, staring down at Delancey Street. Rain slicked the pavement, turning streetlights into blurred halos. A woman hurried past with her coat pulled tight. Somewhere a dog barked. A subway rumbled underfoot. But no sirens. He checked the time on his phone. 9:14 p.m. 7 minutes late. Marcus frowned. He'd worked homicide in Greybridge for 12 years. You didn't go 7 minutes without a siren. Not on a Tuesday. Not ever. He set the glass down untouched. That's when his phone rang. "Tell me you hear it," Captain Elena Ruiz said without preamble. "Hear what?" Marcus asked, already knowing the answer. "Exactly." Her voice was tight, controlled in the way commanders used when they were trying not to panic. Ruiz didn't call detectives at night unless something was broken in half. "No calls?" Marcus asked. "None," she said. 911 lines are dead. Dispatch is live, but nothing's coming in. No police radios, no ambulance channels, nothing. Citywide. Marcus grabbed his coat. Power outage. No. Lights are on. Internet's up. Just emergency systems. And it started all at once. When? 9:07. Of course it did. "I want you downtown," Ruiz said. "Now." Greybridge Police Headquarters smelled like burnt coffee and old paper. Officers crowded the bullpen, voices low, eyes flicking to silent radios clipped to their shoulders. The dispatch board was lit up, but the screens were frozen, no calls, no pings, no red flashes screaming for attention. Marcus spotted Lena Ortiz near the elevators, chewing on a pen like she was trying to break it. "Please tell me this is a glitch," she said when she saw him. "If it is," Marcus replied, "it's the biggest one I've ever seen." Ruiz was waiting in the conference room, sleeves rolled up, hair pulled back tight. A city map was spread across the table, dotted with colored pins. "We've got a blackout," Ruiz said. "Not electrical. Functional. Someone shut us up." "Who?" Lena asked. Ruiz met Marcus's eyes. "That's what you're going to find out." The first body was found without a call. A patrol officer had gone out on foot when his radio died, checking a warehouse near the river that had been flagged earlier in the day. He came running back 15 minutes later, pale and shaking. Male, mid-30s. Throat cut. Clean. Professional. No witnesses. No ambulance. No backup request. Just blood soaking into concrete and a city that couldn't scream. Marcus crouched beside the body, rain dripping from the edge of his coat. He'd seen enough dead men to recognize precision. This wasn't a robbery. This wasn't rage. "This is a message," Lena murmured. "To who?" Marcus asked. "To us," she said. "Who else?" By 10:30 p.m., they had 4 bodies. Different neighborhoods. Same method. Same silence. The killers, if there was more than one, knew exactly how much time they had. They knew response times, patrol routes, blind spots. They knew that without sirens, death traveled quieter and faster. Marcus stood over the fifth body, a woman this time, slumped in the driver's seat of her car. No horn. No call for help. Just a red smear across the window. You thinking what I'm thinking? Lena asked. Marcus nodded. This was planned. Planned how? Whoever did this didn't just kill people, Marcus said. They killed the city's ability to notice. They worked off instinct and paper maps, dispatchers shouting across rooms like it was 1985. Officers drove with windows down, listening for trouble the old-fashioned way, screams, crashes, gunshots. Crime bloomed in the dark. A jewelry store looted in Midtown. A gang fight in South Greybridge that left 3 teenagers bleeding in an alley. A fire that burned an entire apartment floor before someone smelled smoke and kicked indoors. Still no sirens. Still no calls. Marcus felt it in his chest, a pressure, like the city was holding its breath and waiting to die. At 11:47 p.m., a note arrived. Not by email. Not by phone. A courier walked into headquarters, trembling, and handed Ruiz a plain white envelope. Inside was a single page. Stop looking for US. The city is quieter this way. At the bottom, 3 initials, AEK. Marcus felt a cold twist in his gut. Do you recognize it? Ruiz asked. Marcus swallowed. Yeah. Lena turned to him. From where? From 10 years ago, Marcus said. From a case that never closed. The Ashcroft killings. 6 victims. Same precision. Same surgical cuts. Same silence, neighbors asleep, no witnesses, no alarms tripped. The killer vanished after leaving a final note signed AEK. Marcus had been younger then. Hungrier. He'd chased the case until Ruiz, then a lieutenant, pulled him off it. No suspects. No leads. No closure. You think he's back? Lena asked. Marcus stared at the paper. I think he never left. They traced the blackout faster than Marcus expected. Not to a hacker in a basement or a foreign server farm, but to a city contractor, dead in his apartment with a bullet in his head. His credentials had given someone access to emergency infrastructure. The kill switch had been installed months ago, hidden in routine updates. Someone had been patient. Someone had known Marcus would still be here. The next note came at 1:03 a.m., taped to the door of a closed hospital ER. Listen to the quiet. No chaos. No panic. Just truth. Truth about what? Lena asked. Marcus didn't answer. He was remembering a 7th victim from the Ashcroft case, a man whose death had been ruled a suicide despite evidence that screamed otherwise. A man who'd worked for the city. A man Marcus had let slip away because the department wanted the case buried. Marcus left headquarters without telling Ruiz. He drove through streets that felt wrong, too calm, too open. Without sirens, people moved differently. Slower. More afraid. More alone. The address burned in his mind. The building was condemned, windows boarded, graffiti crawling up brick like veins. Marcus slipped inside through a broken door. A light flicked on upstairs. You're late, a voice called. Marcus climbed the stairs with his gun drawn. The man waiting for him was older, grayer, but unmistakable. Aaron Kessler. A.K., Marcus said. Kessler smiled. You finally learned to listen. You killed them, Marcus said. All of them. Kessler shook his head. No. I silenced the lies. Big difference. You shut down emergency services. Yes, Kessler said calmly. To show what happens when people like you decide whose lives are loud enough to matter. Marcus's jaw tightened. This isn't justice. No, Kessler agreed. It's balance. Kessler told his story like a confession he'd practiced for years. The city officials. The cover-ups. The deaths ruled accidents or suicides to protect budgets and careers. The night his sister died waiting for an ambulance that never came, rerouted to a wealthier district. The sirens never reached her, Kessler said softly. So I made sure they reached no one. You could have exposed them, Marcus said. Gone public. And watched nothing happen. Kessler laughed bitterly. No. Silence makes people pay attention. Outside, a distant crash echoed. A scream. Still no sirens. Marcus lowered his gun slightly. This ends tonight. Yes, Kessler said. It does. He pressed a button on a small device. Somewhere deep in the city, systems rebooted and the sirens came back all at once. Police? Ambulance? Fire? The sound crashed through the building like a wave, violent and alive. Marcus flinched despite himself. Kessler closed his eyes. Beautiful, he whispered. Hands up, Marcus said. Now. Kessler raised them slowly. I never wanted to kill you, he said. I wanted you to hear it. To remember. I hear it, Marcus said. He cuffed Kessler as officers stormed the building, guns raised, shouting into radios that suddenly worked again. The city spent weeks recovering. Official reports called it a coordinated cyber attack by a lone extremist. The deeper truth stayed buried, as they always did. Some officials resigned. Others got promoted. Kessler went to prison. Life without parole. Marcus testified. So did Lena. So did Ruiz. Nothing really changed. On Marcus's first night off after the case closed, he stood at his window again. 9:07 p.m. The sirens wailed on cue, tearing through the city like clockwork. Marcus lifted his glass, then set it down untouched. For the first time in years, he didn't drink. Because now he knew something he couldn't forget. The city wasn't safe when the sirens screamed. And it was never more dangerous than the day they stopped.